Asculți Radio Campus Transilvania.
The music you love.
Good evening everyone and welcome to Radio Campus Transilvania. I am 𝗃𝗍 and this is a special broadcast here with two very special guests from Poland. Mr. Dr. even Piotr Drag and Professor Katarzyna Drag. I'd like to first introduce them and then we'll have a very special conversation with them. Dr. Piotr Drag is an academic and senior teacher at the Faculty of Communication and Sciences at the Pontifical University of 𝗍𝗶𝗁 in Krakow. He also serves as the Dean's Plenipotentiary for International Relations at the Department of Social Studies, and he's an expert in intercultural communication, media ethics, and urban studies. Katarzyna Drag is an academic specializing in media and social communication, who holds a postdoctoral degree in the field. A graduate in Polish philology and international cultural studies, she's been working at the Pontifical University since 2011. And she also serves as the head of the Council for Social Communication and Media Sciences and chair of theory and of communication and history of media. Great to have you here.
Hello.
How are you today?
It's great to be here.
Well, now when we are here, much better.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that.
Because we as academics, we love students and we love to do things with students. And you're doing a really extraordinary thing, having such a great studio and great people around.
Well, now that we're done with the credentials, I would like you two to introduce yourselves in your own words.
We are from Krakow, that's important, from Poland, and both of us, we work at the Pontifical University of 𝗍𝗶𝗁, and maybe you realize that we have the same second name. It means that we are a couple marriage.
Yeah.
So we work together and we live together, and both of us, we work at the Faculty of Communication Sciences and Media and Social Communication. This is our field of interest, but also our hobby, especially social communication, intercultural communication. That's why that's a pleasure to be here in Romania, in 𝗍𝗶, and spend time with you.
And if I may add, well, obviously we work together, but not only work together, and for those ladies who are listening to us, would like to let you know that my wife used to be my boss, because she used to be the director of the institute for, I think, 5 or 6 years. So, well, dear ladies, you see, there is a way. If there is a will, there is a way.
Breaking gender barriers, right?
Well, if you want to use such a powerful words.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned your university and your faculty, I would like to talk more about that. What are some aspects that distinguish your faculty from other communication-based faculties or sociology and communication-based faculties, especially in this field?
Mm-hmm. We are quite new faculty, because for last 15 years we have been worked as an Institute of Journalism, Media and Social Communication, and few months ago we received official agreement to change our name from institute to faculty, which is big deal for us.
Obviously,
and that's because we have few programs. We specialized in journalism and social media, but also we have programs in digital media. I know that you have very similar program at Transylvania University in 𝗍𝗶.
Indeed.
So there is a chance for future cooperation. We have also visual and marketing communication, and we have program in English in communication and social sciences. Altogether, it is more than 900 students at our faculty and
900.
more than 100 faculty members. So altogether, we are a big family, 1,000 people, and we try to work on not only on theory and history of communication, but also we focused on artificial intelligence, and we have academical studio center, very similar to yours. That's why I'm really glad that I have a chance to see your infrastructure. And we specialize also in virtual reality, in graphics, so in a new way of communications.
So it's a very innovative faculty.
We try,
Yes.
we do our best.
And here I would like to add, well, we are located in a medieval place. We are located like within the old town of Krakow. Just imagine that in Brasov you would have your studio 120 meters from main market square.
Really?
So that's how close we are to the main market square, in such sense that there are people who are passing by, and if they succeed to be invited by us there, although they are Krakowians, they are astonished because they see, wow, I all my life I was walking by, I did not imagine that there is such a TV studio, a radio studio, virtual reality, everything in this old building in such a new way. And here, please allow me to do a little bit of advertisement. Well, of course, you are all welcome to visit us to see our place in person, and to come on the Erasmus exchange or 𝗃𝗶cie exchange, or just stop by when you are in Krakow. Professor Florin Nikita is definitely the key figure. He has been there several times, and twice, and he brought other people. So definitely he would be the right person to come over or to tell you how to get to Krakow, and to advertise and to let you know that it is really worthy.
Quite endorsement there for Mr. Nikita.
Of course.
Yeah. So you mentioned VR. So regarding virtual reality and your media studio, do you also provide public events, or are they used more for courses and seminars and other research projects, for example?
More for didactic. It was created, and first reason was to give our students an opportunity to work with these new technologies and infrastructures, but it is open also for researchers to do research there, and for our students when they are on this level and they need to prepare their master thesis, for example. And we organize also workshops for students, for high school students, and international workshops for teachers and students from actually all over the Europe.
Wow. We are also very open to the international contacts. We have very good contacts also with the diplomatic corps in Krakow, and also today I had meetings at the Council Honorate of Poland here in Brasov, and they would be very much interested to support our efforts to bring these two cities closer, to Brasov and Krakow, that we will become twin cities. We already began that because through the cooperation between our universities, and maybe we can strengthen that as well on the diplomatic level.
Maybe we can work on a VR laboratory here as well. Maybe. Exactly. So this is an idea that you come over, or our students come over. We have something that workshop together. Apart from all this new media stuff, do you also address through your curriculum emerging difficulties such as the rise of fake news, disinformation, and misinformation on social media, mass media, and so on?
Absolutely. This is one of the most important issues in nowadays media sphere. We have two big projects at our university. One, it's 18 years old project in media ethics. So we are focused on values in media, and we are focused on the value of truth in communication, which is absolutely connected, obvious.
And very relevant.
Obvious, yes, with disinformation and fake news problems. And second project, it is international one, Media for Men. Some of your teachers, we had the pleasure to have them during last international conference in Krakow for Media Ethic Conference, Media for Men conference. This is project which try to answer the question, where is the place of men in nowadays media?
Okay.
So that's why, yes, the answer is yes, we are trying to answer the most important problems.
And also we are addressing issues connected to not only in general, but also to our part of Europe, to the central part of Europe. Last Media for Men conference was dedicated to 3 countries, to see the standards of different countries. So we were very happy to have great representatives from Transylvania University coming over and giving such a good review of what the state of the media standards are here in Romania. So we are very much important realizing that we need to stick together as countries in Middle Europe, because if we are together, then it's easier for us to understand each other, and we can do something together for the development of our part of Europe.
That's amazing. And through these courses and these projects, do you also tackle like very relevant and very recent problems such as electoral propaganda? Because we're now in a super electoral year, I think it's called, with like changing elections, and there's been a lot of misinformation, a lot of media attacks. Do you do any research or case studies on instances of that?
We have a political communication chair at our faculty, and we try to connect with another researchers. Last week, our professor and my PhD student, they went to 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗆, Slovakia, for international conference which was focused on propaganda in political communication in nowadays media. It's not only political communication, but it is everyday communication. So yes, we try to focus on values in our communication, on interpersonal level, but also on political, institutional level. And that's why we created also a new journal. The name of the journal is Social Communication Ethics. And one of the main focus is to talk about fake news, deep fakes, propaganda, and all of these problems which we have with information society nowadays.
That's great to hear.
So talking about this, we had 2 great representatives of 2 countries. The biggest delegation was from Slovakia, from 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗆, and the second was from Transylvania, here from the University of Transylvania. So it's, you see, we are here, our PhD students went there, and doctorate students went to 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗆. So really, when we are doing something, we tend to not to have this once and forget, but to build on this relation.
Yeah, we try to take care about our international relations, and for us it is not enough just to have agreement between 2 universities on paper, because it doesn't count. This is just a
really
paper.
Work.
So what we really like to have, to stay in contact, to go visit people, to invite, to have common projects. So that's why...
Like create long-lasting collaborations.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I was asking this because I'm also part of a project that's tackling the Ukrainian refugee crisis mostly, especially on combating disinformation and the marginalization of Ukrainian refugees. And I also come from a background of communication studies. So I would like to ask you a few questions about this topic, if it's okay. For example, Poland is known to have taken in a lot of refugees from Ukraine ever since the war began. How has this situation influenced your universities and your faculties, courses, research, and overall direction?
Well, we actually, personally, we were very much connected to Ukraine. My wife did her research for her habilitation in Lviv, Ukraine, and really we had a good time in Ukraine, and we have a lot of friends there. So we are very saddened. Our heart is broken that now we can only see our friends, academics.
And that's why we had a big problem because war started during the winter break. So most of our Ukrainian students, they used to be home. They've been home. And I was back then the head of institute, so I was the person responsible for them and for their study program. And for many weeks we were taking care about they coming back, waiting for them, send messages. They were not sure what's going on. So it was very difficult time. Now we need to still deal with this topic. We are on another stage. Now they are in Poland, in Krakow. They still have a chance to study, but they have a lot of problems with emotions and psychological problems connected with the level of stress and with trauma. So this is a completely different part of the story. We don't need to organize anymore in such extent, like organize money and stuff to help people. Now we need to take care about them, and now we as a Polish people, we need to learn how to work together and live together in the same country. So talking about this is process, and we have different stages in this process. After war, we have more or less the same amount of Ukrainian students in our faculty, but we need to talk with them more. I can bring one wonderful example. She was my student. She studied in Ukraine during the war. We allowed her to study a little bit online, and we waited for this student. And she came. She was in very bad shape, let's say. So we tried to stay together and help her. And then she, talking about media, talking about propaganda, she decided to prepare her thesis on bachelor level about Russian propaganda, about war in Ukraine. And at the very beginning, this young lady, she was like afraid to do it. She didn't want to deal even with Russian language, which she knows, of course.
It's triggering her.
Yes, it was like too much for her. But then she realized that she is skillful to do it. She prepared wonderful thesis. So this is one of example that she was able to connect all of these skills and her experience, and it was very influential.
And also here it's very helpful to know the language, like Kasia knows Ukrainian, for example, so that always helps. Once we had this case of a student that he enrolled, and his Polish was very poor. So he came, he did not know how to pass the first exam, and my wife told him, well, but you can write in Ukrainian. And he just exploded, like, Eureka, wow! And he was dancing, walking through, I can do it in Ukrainian, wow. Yes? So to be so inclusive, so that's very important. But on the other hand, because that's the
students from Ukraine,
sensitive.
they don't want to use Russian anymore, because for us it is just a language, like a tool. For them it's something more. It is ideological issue.
Like an imperialist language.
Yes. Yeah. So, all of this, it's very sad, and of course we need to try to help as much as we can to take care about our students from Ukraine. But on the other hand, I think that we did a lot of good things. And for us and for our Polish student, it was also a lesson of life to be together in such a bad time. So that's how it is. Very complicated, and we still need to work a lot because it is very dynamic process in intercultural communication, and this is intercultural communication issue. You need to take care because this is very dynamic. So we are somewhere there, and this is like our common experience.
Well, about the crisis in Ukraine, I don't know how much you know about the state of refugees in Romania, but I would like to know what's your perspective and what advice you'd give us, for example, at university, and what advice you'd give to Romania as a country when dealing with this crisis.
I think that first issue is how we treat people, refugees. We need to talk with people, with our students and with people from Ukraine, because we can have in our mind our own imagination how it is to be refugees, to be from Ukraine nowadays. But it might be only our imagination. So first thing is to talk with people, to ask about their needs, for example.
To make them visible, right?
Yes, absolutely, to make them visible and to ask, what do you need? Do you need money, accommodation, or maybe you need to be support different way? So this is important thing, and then treat them equal. So we need to help students from Ukraine and refugees, but on the other hand, we need to treat them as equal as it is. So we need to work together, talk together, live together, because for a longer time it is impossible to be like guests. They need to be part of our society.
Be integrated.
Yes, and yes, absolutely, you are right. And for this, you need to be part of our society. You need to work, you need to try to learn like language or culture, history. So be open. But I think the most important is to have open eye for their needs, talk, ask questions, learn about intercultural competences, and then we will do something good together.
That's nice. But one problem I've noticed is called, I think, Ukraine fatigue, where a lot of people have heard so much about Ukraine, so much news about how much they're suffering, how they need more money, more resources, etc., that they've become tired of it. And they don't want to hear any more about the Ukrainians. They think they've had enough, they've been given enough. And that opens people up to conspiracy theories and misinformation. What do you think are the best ways to combat? Like, make them visible, but how?
We were talking about that with my husband at the first stage of this conflict, when we receive a lot of people from Ukraine, and it was a lot of emotions around, you know, people of goodwill, let's help, let's organize everything, you know, emotions. And because both of us, we are specialists in intercultural relations and intercultural communication, we were talking about that situation from the perspective of science, let's say. And then I do remember our words that now it seems that it's very difficult situation, but it will be even more after a while, after many months, to be together and to create one society and to stand on Ukraine. This, what we can observe now, this is on one hand like naturally. We knew about it, that it will happen. And there is no emotion anymore. There is no interest, because there is nothing interesting, you know.
No news.
No news. But on the other hand, this is like another stage. So we need to take care of refugees, try to have personal relations, and let's see what will happen. I'm talking now about political level.
Yes, it's difficult to predict, but nevertheless, we really absorb millions of Ukrainians, and we do not have any riots. We live side by side. They go to work. Majority really tries to integrate. So this is it's a good sign if you really look and as if you want to combat these bad feelings, you can say, okay, look around. What do you have? You know, Ukrainian signs or any kind of riots that they are heading against steering the hatred against the Poles. We don't have such things, although we have millions of Ukrainians.
One thing, it's political level, and the second thing, it is interpersonal level. And we try to stay in touch with our friends, but let me confess that even for me, it's difficult to stay in touch with our friends from Lviv, for example. Of course, we stay in touch online, via email, sometimes we talk, but what can I say? After 1 month, I was okay, it will finish, let's be together. After 2 years, what can I say?
Putin thought it would end in 2 days.
It's difficult, that's true. All of us, we are tired. And we do not have perfect words to explain. What kind of question can I ask to my friend, professor from Lviv University? How are you? This is difficult on personal level for both of us. All of us, we are tired, really tired of this.
And this falls into the subject of crisis communication, maybe?
Yeah. You are right. It might be good point to...
Or crisis management, stuff like that.
Rather, which is not very dynamic, because the beginning of war is, a lot of events. But now it's crisis, but it's not as dynamic. It's rather about our feelings, emotions.
Like post factum, basically.
Yes, about our attitude. What can we do with this situation now?
Very often we judge people, unfortunately. How can we judge? We judge only from the perspective of our own. And I don't know how we will behave when Poland would be attacked. Whether we would stand to all honorable standards also, because obviously when your family is in danger, the friends are killed, and etc., it's so difficult to put the normal ethical standards for this. And so also we need to understand that, okay, we're treating everyone equally, but they have certain baggage that they came, and they are mental baggage, and sometimes it's difficult for us to comprehend this. And I hope that we will never comprehend it.
Yeah,
hopefully
it will never happen, but that's how it works with war, and it used to work. During the war, we can see the best side of human nature and dark side of human nature. And that's how it used to be, and it is now.
And this was very well written by C.S. Lewis in the Letters of the Scrutinous Devil, between the talk between the older and young devil, Satans. And one says, well, I mean, war is not really good even for us. The older says, why the younger? Because then a lot of good things also come. And maybe sometimes the war shows certain things to extreme, and then we can learn from these things as well.
I'm really impressed that you ask such a question and you have your project, because I think it is really important to talk about it and to try tools, how to try to understand more what's going on in nowadays media, social communication, politics in our part of Europe. So good luck with your project.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and I hope that you will be successful.
And so do I. Thank you very much.
Come to Krakow to share your...
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
And then you can really work with the Ukrainian students. You can see in your own eyes and witness and investigate these things.
It'll be a very great continuation of the project.
And then our students, we have Radio Bonus at our university. Then our students will invite you and your team.
Also, I will be the interviewee.
And you will be on our place. So think about it.
Oh, I'd love to.
You are welcome.
Very kind of you. Very kind. So, to wrap things up, do you think that this crisis and everything else that's happening, all the elections, everything, is opening up new areas for research in the field of communication? And how can this be done? Or how can these researches be approached?
It is a difficult question. We need a lot to do with methodology. because we need to develop the tools how to deal with new media and with propaganda, with disinformation. A lot of things to do. I'm talking from the side of researchers. A lot of things to discuss and to understand how it works.
Mhm.
So this is absolutely a challenge. I think one of the most important for us and for our society, how to deal with all of this information around us, how to be able to verify information, because what is very important, we need truth, we need information to our personal growth. So this is not only about politics, economy, about ideology, this is about our personal development as a human
As a
being.
human.
Without truth and information, we cannot develop ourselves.
And evolve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And here maybe one personal touch. So for Poles, when they think about Romania, they
Yeah.
are very grateful to the Romanians because in 1939, when Poland was attacked on one side by Germans, on the other side by the Soviets, only one way to escape was Romania.
Really.
And you showed the standards for us that we were following after the war broke. And really, we here would like to thank the Romanian nation for what you have done, what your grandparents or grandparents did, because we experienced being welcome here in Romania.
We
And-
are talking, you ask about refugees from Ukraine to Poland. And every September, when we are talking about the beginning of Second World War, we are talking in Poland, in Polish media, also about Romania, as my husband mentioned, that we used to be refugees, and you welcome us.
And you welcome us, and not only that you were fair to us, but also you were fair to our treasure, our gold passed through. You did not took it. We were able to keep it and went into the safe place to Canada, and we are very grateful. I mean, really, you showed the standards back then.
Well, I hope we learn as a nation from our own past.
And
We really should.
and you see, that's the reasons why we put the stress on the cooperation here in the Middle Europe. We are not that far from each other. We have a lot of things to learn from each other.
So, as a closing remark, do you have any other things to say about, I don't know, your faculty, your country, your home, or Romania?
There is
Any closing statements?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to say once again that you are welcome at our university and in Krakow. I hope that you will feel good there, because it is also old, beautiful city as Brasov is. And tomorrow we are going home with my husband. We are very grateful for this time in Brasov. And this is not only words. I really saw that we are alike and we have a lot of similarities between scholars, between students, between our programs. And really, I have big hope for future cooperation. There is a lot of things to do, a lot of things to do together.
Yeah, and once again, this would not be possible without the help of the dean, the present dean, of Professor 𝗃cie𝗿𝗶𝗰, and who really was eager first to come to Krakow to see, then invited us over to 𝗃𝗿𝗃𝗿, and then now we are in Brasov, and really this cooperation hopefully will continue and will grow to the beautiful tree.
Yeah, I really hope we will continue to contribute and collaborate, and I hope our cities as well will be much closer to each other, and we'll see each other again. Maybe in Krakow, maybe here. Who knows?
Well, and this is the greetings to the Polish consul, who really would like here, who lives here in Brasov, who really would like that we will be twin cities.
Hopefully to see you in Krakow next time. And
I certainly hope so.
yeah, and there is still a lot of things to see in Brasov, so I hope we will be back soon.
Hopefully. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been
for
amazing.
Invitation.
You've been great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Mulțumesc.
Mulțumesc.
And we should, you know, finish. We like this country very much because our last name is Drag, D-R-A-G, Drag. So we realize that you also say such nice things like 𝗃𝗏.
Yeah.
So 𝗃𝗏. Mulțumesc 𝗃𝗏.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everyone, have a great evening.
Asculți Radio Campus Transilvania.
The music you love.
𝗃𝗶cie𝗁𝗶𝗁𝗀, yeah. Anoche te vi, estabas borracha con el suéter que yo te di, No pude dormir, hace varios meses no sabía nada de ti, porque me acordé cuando estás pa' mí. Tú eras mi 𝗃𝗶𝗁𝗴 y yo era tu 𝗃𝗏. Cuando nos miramos pudimos sentir todo lo que no nos pudimos decir. ¿Pa' qué te fuiste? ¿Pa' qué? 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 Ya, dime si valió la pena haberte ido pa' vivir esta condena. Recuerdo cuando te cantaba a capela, haciéndote mía bajo la luna llena. Y ahora que tú y yo ya no somos nada, pienso que todo se podía arreglar. Pero es inevitable que en la vida todo cambie, aunque no duela de más. Porque me acordé cuando estabas pa' mí. Tú eras mi 𝗃𝗁𝗴 y yo era tu 𝗃𝗏. Cuando nos miramos